Hello friends, let's discuss today's set of questions. Here's the first one. According to a study released by the defense website Military Direct, Dash has the strongest military force in the world. Of course, China has the strongest military force in the world. But there are a lot of gray areas here. I mean, this is blanket. In the blanket way, we can't say that China has the strongest military force in the world. There are a lot of variables, but before I discuss the variables, even if we want to discuss that, this class wouldn't be sufficient. But anyway, I'll bring in a few things. Let's look at the top 5 strongest military forces in the world. Okay, so this is a website, Military Direct, which sells a lot of military gear. GEAR. How do you pronounce this? Gear. Normally we pronounce this as gear. Yeah, the vehicle gear, all that stuff. It's not gear, it's gear. Fair. So they sell a lot of military gear to nations, different nations, companies, all that stuff. Now they came out with this particular report, and in this report they mentioned the top 5 strongest military forces in the world. So 1, China. 2, United States. 3, Russia. 4, India. 5, France. Okay, now you would have observed that I am not putting dots here. If you put dots, they become serial numbers. Okay, we are not serializing, we are simply ranking this. The world's most powerful military force, according to this website, belongs to China. Then United States comes in the second place, followed by Russia in the third. India and France take up the 4th and 5th positions respectively. Now you need to understand that there are a lot of variables. They looked at the most important criterion being criterion is singular. Okay, being budget. Now budget they also looked at other variables like active and inactive personnel, which would mean that active military force and inactive would mean reserves and all that. And they also looked at the military machine as such, in terms of when you say Air Force, how many aircraft, missiles and all that stuff. Land-based armored vehicles, when you say army, how many tanks, missiles and all that stuff, land-based missiles. When we are talking of navy, ships, destroyers, frigates, aircraft carriers, all that stuff. Now if we go by what the website had said, China would win a war by sea. By sea, China would win a war. Okay, United States by air. So if it's an air-based war, it's the United States that would win, and Russia would win a war that would be purely land-based. I would want to tell you here that these are all conjecture. See, they go by certain estimates, but you have to understand that China hasn't fought a war in a long time. The last time China fought a war was in the 1970s, when it got entangled in the Vietnam crisis. But that's about it. After that, it hasn't engaged in a major war anywhere else. Okay. So, and by the way, what happened in 50s, 60s, 70s is not comparable to what's been happening now or what could happen in the future, because these are all technology-based warfare. So it's unlikely that China would win a war against the United States. That much is clear, despite what this website would say. It's the United States that has the strongest military force in the world. Okay. Now, if you go by the budget, purely budget, we'll just go by the budget. And the top 5 budgets, top 5 military budgets. Okay, which countries spend the highest on defense equipment? United States, that would be $732 billion. $732 billion is a lot of money, isn't it? $732 billion. China comes in number 2. China, I'm writing it here. Number 2, China, $261 billion. So all figures are in billion dollars. Okay, $261 billion. India comes in at number 3 with $71 billion, slightly over 71. That's about 71.1, but I'm taking it the lower end, $71 billion. And of course, these are the top 3. Now you need to also look at, of course, there is Saudi Arabia, which is quite, which comes in the top 5 also. But Saudi Arabia wouldn't be, by any stretch of imagination, we cannot say that Saudi Arabia has a very strong military force. It's spending money to beef up its security, to beef up its military force, but that's about it. And its primary enemy is Iran. Okay, so we are not comparing China, United States on one side, fighting against each other, and Iran and Saudi Arabia. Just not comparable. Okay. Now, let me take it further from here. For now, United States has more military aircraft carriers, aircraft carriers than China has. In fact, 10 times more. China has about 2, United States has about 20. So we need to understand that there could be a lot of factors that play vital role. Okay, so and India has been constantly engaged in warfare. Okay, if you look at the Indian forces, we have fought 4 wars against Pakistan, plus a local 4 wars in 1948, 1965, 1971, plus this local conflict in what we call Kargil. So 3 major wars, and 71. Okay, 48, 65, 71, and then 99. Okay, so 4 major wars that we have fought against each other, and each time India has come up on top. If you look at the war against China, we lost it badly, but that was more of decisions because of a lot of factors, because of a lot of other factors. Okay, so we need to budget for that fact. So that's about it. Don't always go by these numbers. Okay, a lot of these numbers have a lot of reasons as to why they talk about this, why they come up with these kinds of rankings. Okay, so who has recently been appointed the CEO of the Reserve Bank of India's Innovation Hub? What's the Innovation Hub? And before that, let's look at Rajesh Bansal. That's the answer. Then we'll look at now the Innovation Hub. Please write these notes. RBI Innovation Hub. RBI Innovation Hub. RBI Innovation Hub. Underline that. First point. Chairman Senapati Gopalakrishnan. Senapati Gopalakrishnan. Senapati Gopalakrishnan, comma, former chairman and co-founder of Infosys. Basically co-founder, okay, co-founder and former chairman of Infosys. Is one of the 7 persons who started Infosys. Okay. Next, CEO Rajesh Bansal. Rajesh Bansal. Next, aim of what? Innovation Hub. RBI's Innovation Hub. Okay. Aim is to promote innovation across the financial sector, by leveraging, that is using to great advantage, by leveraging on technology, or simply by leveraging technology. On is not required. Full stop. Next point. What is the other thing? So using technology for what? Second point. Create an ecosystem to focus on promoting access to financial products and services. To financial products and services. Last, financial products and services, full stop. Last point. To promote financial inclusion. To promote financial inclusion. So I broke all these into these short sentences, okay? Separate points. So, have you heard of these guys? Do you know who are these guys? Nandan Nilekani. We mentioned Nandan Nilekani and Chris Gopalakrishnan, and we mentioned that Infosys has had multiple founders. So, though it's not a part of this session, I'll just bring in who founded Infosys. Okay. One, this is not this serial number. N.R. Narayana Murthy. Nagavara Ramarao Narayana Murthy. Then Senapati. I'm writing in short. Okay. Gopalakrishnan. Senapati Gopalakrishnan. It sounds like Senator General Knowledge. It looks like that. 3. I think it's T. Dinesh. Yeah, I'm not very sure of the surname, but I think it's T. 4. S. D. Shibulal. 5. Okay, 5. N.S. Raghavan. 6. Ashok Arora. And 7. Nandan Nilekani. 7 guys. Okay. Now, when was Infosys started? 1981. 91 it became a publicly limited company, I think. 81, it was founded, and this Ashok Arora left the company in 1989, I think. 88, 89 he left the company. So that's the story. How Infosys was started. You could read a little on that. And let me take you further on this. Sam Pitroda, also called Satyan Pitroda, is born in Odisha to a Gujarati family, and he is considered the father of India's IT revolution. Father of IT revolution. So he brought in his policies as an advisor to the then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. His policies brought in mass use of computers in government departments and all that. Okay. Rishad Premji is the chairman of Wipro Group. C.P. Gurnani is Chandar Prakash Gurnani. CEO of Tech Mahindra. Okay. Yeah. Which state has launched a campaign called Samar to tackle malnutrition in the state? Malnutrition means lack of access to nutrition. People eating much lower than what they should be eating. People having pretty little nourishment. And this is an ugly fact of our society. We have mountains of grains, food grains. We have millions of tons of buffer stock of rice, wheat. Yet people are dying of starvation. Yeah, it's a sad thing. And one of those states where you find massive starvation is Jharkhand. You have some parts of tribal areas of Odisha as well. Chhattisgarh. More importantly, Jharkhand. Okay, so Jharkhand government has started this scheme called Samar. Take the full form. Strategic action to for strategic action for होता है for alleviation of malnutrition and I'm putting everything in caps. I don't like caps, but I have to here for clarity. And anemia reduction. Okay, so strategic action for alleviation of malnutrition and reduction, alleviation of malnutrition and anemia reduction. Now you look at this. Anemia is low blood count, typically low iron in the blood, lower hemoglobin and everything. Anemia is a persistent problem in our country, and especially among women. It is believed that most data says that about 52%, that's more than half of Indian women are anemic. They have lower blood count and all that. So, see, one is due to poverty. One major reason why people don't have access to food is poverty, lack of access to money, no purchasing power, and consequently not being able to buy and eat. Second is it's a lifestyle choice. Some people have a lifestyle choice not to eat so that they don't put on fat. So there are multiple reasons for this, and sometimes it's genetic also, of course. The Chief Minister of Jharkhand is Hemant Soren. I think we always been taking the names of the chief ministers. We have Bihar's chief minister is Nitish Kumar. You know this name. Madhya Pradesh Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Rajasthan Ashok Gehlot. And Uttar Pradesh Yogi Adityanath. Which has become the first state to have its own ethanol policy. Now, what's ethanol and all that? Ethanol is a biofuel. It's a biofuel. The answer is Bihar. But before that, I'll tell you what is this. Ethanol is used as a biofuel, and in India, till recently, till when the new biofuel policy had come about, only two sources were there for manufacturing ethanol. One was sugarcane, the other was maize. M-A-I-Z-E. Maize is corn. Now, this also led to scarcity of these two in the markets, which also pushed up their prices, and which also put these two out of the reach of a lot of people because they became expensive. Now, the government, in order to boost ethanol production, has now diversified the source pool. So, under the new policy, they are allowing not just sugarcane and maize, but also, surplus food grain, surplus rice especially, and any kind of food grain, any kind of grains that are not fit for human consumption. Because if it's rotten or anything, not fit for human consumption. Okay? So things are changing. You have Brazil. Brazil is a very large producer of biofuel. But it has these kinds of things. Why we may say that we should cut down on fossil fuels and focus more on alternate stuff like ethanol, Jatropa and all. They have their own problems. So till recently, just about, you must have read this controversy about Amul and PETA, people for the ethical treatment of animals. Now these guys, they always have their own agenda. They always have criticized, let me tell you, I'm not a Hindu, but they always criticize Hindu festivals. Okay, Hindu festivals are those festivals where they use milk or some kind of stuff, like for example water for doing Holi. So they always talk about how water is being wasted, but no one talks about animals being killed to mark certain festivals. No, I'm not a religious person per se, but I'm saying that everyone here has an agenda. Like for example, these guys say that Amul should not use cows for milking. For milk, they should turn to vegan sources of machine synthetic produce. They should use milk. They should produce milk through synthetic uses. So the chairman of Amul, he said, he asked these guys, so who will provide employment to the 10 crore dairy farmers of India, from whom Amul buys all that stuff? All the cooperatives in India buy milk from. What about their source of livelihood? So these guys have no answer, but they keep banging the door as if it's veganism is the only way out. So somewhere people have their own agenda. I will not get into the agenda, but I would want you to understand that we should not take everything at face value. Okay? So people always talk about electric cars. So where is the infrastructure in India? Electric cars, they are expensive because there is no infrastructure for them. The moment we have infrastructure, the prices will automatically come down. More people will use. People would always love to save money, isn't it? So, but there are no ways of saving money through buying electric car. They are very expensive today, very expensive, and we can't recharge them everywhere. So if you look at and that's why I always say, whenever you read, your attitude should be like when you read, there is one good perspective here. You should not get carried away by what you read. You should be like, this author has a point, he's making sense. You read another perspective, that also will make sense. That the author on the opposite side also will make sense, because they have their own logic. And where there is no logic, don't read such stuff. Okay. The Chief Minister of Gujarat is Vijay Rupani. Vijay Rupani. Tamil Nadu, M.K. Stalin. Karnataka, B.S. Yediyurappa. Yediyurappa. I always get confused here. There is a U here. Okay? Yeah. Bihar, we know. Maharashtra, Uddhav Thackeray. You should read extensively. That's the only way you can build knowledge. Which you can do. G.V. Ramakrishna, who passed away recently, was the former chairman of SEBI. Okay. SEBI, as you know, is the Securities and Exchange Board of India. You could write the full form. Securities and Exchange Board of India. Securities and Exchange Board of India. Dash, regulator means controller. Regulator of India's capital and stock markets. Capital and stock markets. Capital and stock markets. Okay. Fair. Chairman. Who is the chairman? Ajay Tyagi. Ajay Tyagi. Ajay Tyagi. You know the Harshad Mehta scam that happened in 1992, and it was at this time that G.V. Ramakrishna was the head. He was the chairman of SEBI between 1990 and 94. He had a 4-year term. And remember, if you want to write one more line about SEBI, you could write founded 1988, I think, 88. Given next point, given statutory powers in 1992. So they could prosecute, they could file cases, they could go against companies and all that. Till then it was only advisory. It is only advisory. Okay. Yeah. So if you watch this program called Scam 1992 on Sony Live, which is this OTT channel, over the top channel, you would find I think Anant Mahadevan or someone plays the role of G.V. Ramakrishna. I'm not so sure. No, I think Anant Mahadevan plays the RBI chairman's role, RBI governor's role, or someone. But it's a very, very good performance, and it's a very good serial to know about how the scam happened. Why don't we look at the other regulatory bodies here? IRDAI, IRDAI, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. Founded 1 year before 1999. That is when the law came. IRDAI 1999. Head office Hyderabad. And you could also write one more thing. Chairman's name Subhash Chandra Khuntia. So, okay. Next, NABARD. Now, by the way, if you want to write, you already know it. Regulator of Insurance Sector in India. Insurance Sector in India, IRDAI. Next, NABARD. National Bank for Agriculture. National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. Okay. Next point. Regulator of, or you can simply say highest refinancing agency for cooperative banks. Highest refinancing agency for agriculture credit. Best agriculture credit. Don't complicate life. Highest refinancing agency for agriculture credit. Next, founded 1982. Head office Mumbai. Chairman Govinda Rajulu Chintala. Next, third point, PFRDA, Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority. Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority. Okay. Next, regulator of pension funds. Okay. And NPS, National Pension Scheme. Next, founded 2003. Chairman Supratim. This is the spelling I found on the website. Bandyopadhyaya. Bandyopadhyaya. Okay. Last one. NPCL. National Payments Corporation of India. National Payments Corporation of India. NPCL. Next, founded 2008. 2008. Yes, founded 2008. Next, head office Mumbai. I think we didn't take the head office of PFRDA. The head office of PFRDA is Delhi. Only thing we skipped. Now we know. NPCS head office is in Mumbai and its CEO is Dilip Asbe. It oversees electronic payment systems like NEFT, RTGS, UPI. It's all, the mother of all these things. Next, financial planning involves, of course, it involves a lot of issues, and some of these are mentioned. Planning for peaceful and problem-free post-retirement life. Problem-free means we are talking of financial problem-free, okay, not emotional. Process of solving financial problems and achieving financial goals, yes. Investing in mutual funds and equity to get maximum returns, Involves proper tax planning to reduce tax burden investment. Actually, all of this. Okay, all of this. The primary thing is, financial planning is all about making sure that tomorrow does not suffer. And tomorrow, most people let it come. People think of tomorrow. They try to save for tomorrow at the expense of today. I'm not kidding. This is how actually people work. People think buying a few assets will help them take care of tomorrow, when actually, buying those assets puts a burden on financial burden, because this, let's say, let me give you an example. Let's say, there is this person called A. Okay, A is looking to have a secure future, which is good. The guy is just about 30 years old. Okay. Now, at 30 years old, the person is looking to build a great corpus for a life after retirement. Okay. Now, this is a private sector employee. No pension would come normally after person stops working. Now, the person would think of buying a few things. The person's there is a monthly income and everything. The person saves through life insurance. That's one bad investment, because people look at life insurance to save tax, and investment. This is bad, this is good. The major objective of, I'm not going to give you a lecture on financial advice, I'm not going to give you financial advice, but I'm telling you the purposes of why A should take insurance. A should take insurance primarily to cover risk. If something would happen to A, the dependents, the financial dependents, the emotional thing cannot be filled in, but financial dependents can be taken care of. So risk insurance is what A should be taking. Okay, and in the process, if the person saves tax on that premium, it's a good thing. But investment is a bad idea. Insurance is not a good investment. People say stock markets, mutual funds are very good for great returns. Not always. Okay. All things change depending on a lot of variables and everything. So over long term, everything goes down to about 8 to 10%. That's the growth most investments give you. Okay. So always keep in mind, insurance is for risk. Always risk. So what people don't understand, when they take a loan, another thing is a loan, a home loan, let's say. When people take a loan at the age of 30, at 30 they would have small kids. The kids grow up, their education expenses increase, but the loan EMI also goes up. Income does not increase at the rate of expenses. Okay, expenses increase, but not in the same proportion as income. Expenses increase faster than income. So people, and that is where burden, the EMI and everything plays a lot of pressure on the health, on the physical health, mental health, and of course financial resources of the family. So somewhere people have to cut, some kind of, they compromise, they cut down certain expenses like vacations and everything for, toward payment of that. And for what? A home. That's how it is. So I think you need to budget for the fact that financial planning involves mental peace also. Okay, that's why it is peaceful. Okay, yeah. So I basically believe in living a debt-free life. You should not take on loans if you can't repay, and you should always take a short-term loan, not a long-term loan like typically a home loan, unless there is a double income in the family. What is the minimum amount a person can invest in public provident fund in the financial year? Well, 500 rupees. This is PPF. I would want you to write about PPF, because sometimes in the interviews they ask you, what do you know about this? So why don't you write PPF, public provident fund? Okay, please write. First point, lock-in period. Lock-in, that is lock-in period of 15 years. Lock-in period of 15 years, before which funds cannot be withdrawn. Funds cannot be withdrawn completely. That's the word. Funds cannot be withdrawn completely. Okay, next. Minimum investment is 500 rupees. 500 rupees in a year. 500 rupees. Maximum investment, this is minimum 500, maximum 1.5 lakh per annum. Next point. Investment has to be made every year to ensure that the account, the PPF account, the account remains active. Next, the basic objective of investment in PPF is twofold. Preserving capital, what you invest, and long-term risk-free investment. Preserving capital and long-term risk-free investment. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's okay. Let's take a couple of more points. Please write. Loan. A lot of people take a loan on PPF, so you should also have clarity on this. Tomorrow you'll become a banker, so have clarity. loan can be available. Loan is available. Loan is available up to 25% of the fund. So whatever is the fund, repayable in 36 months. So 3-year loan. Last point, interest rate is determined by the government of India. Government of India. Okay, if you really want the last point, I know you're taking last, you're taking 4 or 5 points like that. Tax benefits or tax benefit is available under Section 80C. Section 80C. Section 80C. Okay. Yeah. Good question. All depositors of a bank are lenders. See, when you go to a bank, you put money into your account, you deposit. Your deposit becomes a liability for the bank. Liability means udhar, appu. That is something that has to be repaid. So when you put money into your account, the bank has to return that money. So you are effectively lending to the bank, and that is the reason the bank pays you a rate of interest. Okay, yes. So all depositors of a bank are lenders to the bank. Simple question, but easy to understand. The term white goods refers to, well, consumer durables. So you write this simple definition of white goods. Please write white goods. White goods dash large electrical goods for domestic use which were traditionally available only in white color, only in white. In the past, all these goods, your refrigerator, all these things, okay, were available only in white. That's why, they were called white goods. Now, I don't normally say white colored goods, or for that matter, I didn't ask you to write traditionally available in white color, because it is believed that white is not a color. It's a standard against which certain things are measured. So that's why you have black and white TV, and then you have a color TV. Okay. So black and white TV, you say white is a color, black is a color, then how is that different from a black and white, other color TV? I know. Next, you write brown goods dash small and light electronic consumer durables like laptops. This laptop, yeah, you can say this phone. Okay, yeah. With which nation, by the way, do you know, in the beverages industry, alcohol, especially alcohol industry, white goods refer to vodka and gin. Vodka and gin, because they are colorless. Okay. With which nation has the WHO, World Health Organization, recently signed a memorandum of understanding to launch the first WHO biohub facility for the storage, sharing and analysis of pathogen? Well, Switzerland. What is it? Switzerland. So before I talk about the biohub facilities in India, let's go to Switzerland. And Switzerland's capital, well, there is no capital. Switzerland doesn't have a capital. It is one of the very few countries, in fact one of the 2 countries in the world do not to have a capital. Okay. But it legally doesn't have a capital. De facto means people have taken that city to the capital, and that city, ladies and gentlemen, is Bern. Bern is the de facto capital of Switzerland. Okay. And the president of Switzerland changes every year. Guy Parmelin. Switzerland has a 7-member federal council, and these 7 members take turns to become the president. This year, for 2021, it is Guy Parmelin. For 2020, it was Simonetta Sommaruga. So I want you to write about this biohub facilities. We will not write about this particular one, but we'll write about what's there in India. So you would have heard that the Wuhan lab, where is the Wuhan Institute of Virology, was a BSL 4 lab. BSL 4 lab. This is the highest safety lab in the world. Okay. So you could write bio safety level. I am so sorry. I'll clear this entire thing. Bio safety level 4. BSL 4. ठीक है? Next, India has, next point, India has 3 BSL 4 labs. BSL 4 institutions means the kind of safety, they may not be certified, but generally they are certified as such. Okay, they are certified in India's case. 3 BSL 4 institutions in India. 1, I am writing here, National Institute of Virology Pune. National Institute of Virology Pune. Next, CCMB Hyderabad. This is the Center for cellular and molecular biology. Cellular and molecular biology, Hyderabad. Third one, right, National Institute of High security animal diseases. High security animal diseases. So that's in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. As part of its lunar program, Artemis, which space agency will send its first mobile robot, Viper, which is Volatiles Investigating Polar Exploration Rover, to search for water on the moon in 2023. You remember back in 2008 when Chandrayaan was launched, it was the Indian rover, an American rover atop, and this Chandrayaan found water on the moon. So in fact, it was ISRO's discovery of water on the moon. Please know that. And water was found in the south pole of the moon. Okay. So please write Viper, VIPER. VIPER. A robot that will go to the south pole, of the moon, to get a close-up view of the location and concentration of water that could eventually be harvested, to sustain human exploration on the moon. Yeah, why not, right? On the moon, Mars and beyond. It's a robot that will go to the south pole of the moon to get a close-up view of the location and concentration of water that could eventually be used that could eventually be harvested to sustain human exploration of exploration on the moon, Mars and beyond. That was the sentence. This sentence comes directly from NASA website. Okay, Viper page on NASA website. Next, last point. First resource mapping mission. First resource mapping mission on another celestial body. Celestial means heavenly body, planet, all that stuff. Okay, yeah. You want the full forms of this? JAXA, PAXA and all that, right? JAXA, JAXA. Sorry. Japan, JAXA is Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. Next, right, ISRO, ESA, European Space Agency. Next, CNSA, China National Space Administration. China National Space Administration. And the answer, NASA. Last one, NASA. National Aeronautics and Space Administration. National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Okay, Yeah. Next, which company has recently acquired the American media company Metro Goldwyn Mayer MGM Studios for a little under $8.5 billion? Amazon has done that. Amazon. Okay. Amazon is, Amazon owns this Prime, which is a streaming service. It's called a streaming service. This channel is called OTT. Okay. This type is called OTT, over the top. Over the top. It doesn't use your set-top box to to be accessed. So you have Amazon there. Why don't we write about Amazon? Head office Seattle, Washington State, US. Seattle City, Washington State, US. Next, its chairman founder is Jeff Bezos. The incoming CEO is Andy Jassy. You could also write world's biggest internet company by revenue. World's biggest internet company by revenue. Its revenue last year was about $380 billion, man. Okay. Next, look at choices here. Walt Disney, nice company to know. Walt Disney Company, not Walt Disney person. Okay, Walt Disney Company. It's called the Walt Disney Company. Head office in a place called Burbank, California State, US. In fact, these are all American companies, so repeatedly we don't have to write US. Okay, yeah. Burbank, California. Its CEO is a guy called Bob Chapek. Hey, Bob is Robert. Bob is a nickname of a guy called Robert. Remember this. Bob is Robert. You have Bill. Bill is for William. William is the actual name. Bill is a nickname. Bob is for Robert. Okay. Then, what does it own? Oh, it owns a lot of things. You must be familiar with 20th Century Fox. 20th Century Fox. It owns 20th Century Fox channel. You must be familiar with ESPN network. Yes, they own ESPN. They own this Hulu service. Hulu is a streaming service like Amazon Prime, and it also owns Hotstar. We have Disney Hotstar. Yes, Hotstar. Okay. I mean, plenty of stuff actually they own. Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse. Yeah, I love Goofy because he keep making errors like I do, goofing up all the time. So that's Disney. Walmart. Why don't we write Walmart? So I don't want to leave anything unanswered. So Walmart. You could write head office is in a place called Bentonville. Bentonville is in the American state of Arkansas. The S is silent. Bentonville town, Arkansas. Then its CEO is a guy called Doug McMillon. Doug McMillon is CEO, and you know what? You could write world's biggest company. World's biggest company by sales revenue, or by sales. World's biggest company by sales. Last year, Its revenues were $519 billion and this year estimated at $559 billion. Okay, you could write one more thing. World's biggest private sector employer. World's biggest private sector employer. It employs more than 22 lakh people. Okay. Last one, Netflix. Netflix. In the case of Netflix alone, I will tell you who started it. Okay, when we're talking of Netflix founders, Mark Randolph and Reed Hastings. These two guys started this company, and remember, this guy is also the chairman and co-CEO. Only this guy. This is headquartered in a place called Los Gatos, California. When you subscribe, they get money, and it's a $23 billion company, if I'm not wrong. About 23 is last year, so $25 billion this year. So that's a lot of money, isn't it? $25 billion would be almost equal to TCS. Apple. Just before that, you see this Walmart. When you say Walmart, Wall is named after the guy who founded the company. Sam, first name, Walton surname. Wall from Walton, okay. Mart from market. So Mart is market. Sam Walton. That's how the name comes. Netflix. Flix basically movies. Net, using the internet to transmit to stream movies, is Netflix. That's how the names come. Apple was started by 3 persons, but right now not required. You just write head office, Cupertino, California, and CEO Tim Cook. You could write one thing about this company. World's biggest technology company by revenue. World's biggest technology company by revenue. Okay. Who among the following footballers has been declared winner of Europe's 2020 Golden Shoe Award? Robert Lewandowski. This guy, you could write, captain of Poland. Poland football captain, and he plays for a German club called Bayern Munich. Okay. He got this particular award, Golden Shoe Award, because he scored 41 goals this season. 41 goals is about 10 more than the next guy. Okay, yeah. So I will not focus on this. Ronaldo is a Portuguese guy. Messi, Argentinian, but they play for different football clubs in Europe. So we'll keep it short here. Okay. You see this here? Adidas, just for fun, okay? Adidas, named after Adolf Dassler. Addy, nickname of Adolf Dassler. The first 3 letters of his surname, Adolf Dassler. Yeah. Who won the 2021 Formula 1 Monaco Grand Prix? This chap, Mark Verstappen. You could write this. He belongs to Netherlands. Okay, he belongs to Netherlands, and you can see his team here, the name of his team. belongs to Netherlands, and his car is, he works for a company called, a racing company called Red Bull Racing Honda. Red Bull Racing Honda. Next, you wouldn't need to know about the choices here, because we've been discussing these guys, especially if you look at Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton is a 6-time world champion, Formula 1 world champion, and he drives a Mercedes car, and he is from Britain. He's from Britain. Not required. But if you look at, this is the logo of Puma. This is the logo of Puma. You know the Puma? Yeah? Yes. Just tell you one story. There were two brothers, Adolf and Rudolf. Their surname was Dassler. Two brothers, Adolf and Rudolf, together started a company called Dassler Brothers Shoe Factory. They fell out. About working together for 20 years, they split. Like all brothers in the world, they fought badly, and they had a bitter split. And this was toward the Second World War, end of the Second World War. So they went their separate ways. Adolf started Adidas. We just saw it. Rudolf started a company called, Ruda. Okay. But then he changed the name to Puma. Later he changed the name to Puma. So Puma and Adidas were founded by two brothers, and both are headquartered in the same German town called Herzogenaurach. Same town. Okay, and this logo, you see this animal? This is a Puma. It's a kind of a mountain cat. Puma is a mountain cat, and it's called jumping cat. This particular, because this cat is jumping, it's called jumping cat. It has a name. Okay. Lot to learn. Banking tech startup Zeta has become the latest unicorn. A unicorn is one which has a valuation in excess of $1 billion. Okay, and it has become the latest unicorn after being valued at $1.25 billion. The firm was founded by these two guys. Okay, Bhavin and Ramki. I'm not going to discuss this except for this fellow. Vijay Shekhar Sharma is the founder of a company called Paytm. Vijay Shekhar Sharma started Paytm. Okay, it's a play on ATM. That's how the name comes. Mali has been in a state of turmoil after its army detained former interim president Ba Na and Prime Minister Mokhtar Ouane in a coup. The P is silent. In a coup. The capital of Mali is Bamako. You can see this here. Bamako, in the southwest of the country. This is Mali. You can see? Yeah. This is Mali. So, I plan to tell you two stories in the next class. This class is going to take a lot of time. So in the next class, I'm going to focus on two countries. One will be Mali, okay, and the second would be a country called Rwanda. There is a question on this also in this session, but let me finish this. Okay, basic information about these countries, these places. Bamako, capital of Mali. I'll tell you the entire story in the next class, okay? Because this is going to take a lot of time. Antananarivo is the capital of Madagascar. Capital of Madagascar, whose president is, if you want to know the name of the president, I'll just write here, Andry Rajoelina. Okay, Andry Rajoelina is the president. Harare is the capital of Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe is here. You see this? Zimbabwe. The president is Emerson Mnangagwa. Okay. Accra. This is Accra. is the capital of Ghana, small country. Let me clear this. Currencies you don't need to know. Anyway, if you want to know, Madagascar's currency is Ariari. What is this? Zimbabwe. Now, Zimbabwe's currency is Zimbabwean dollar. Ghana's capital is Accra. The president is a guy called Nana Akufo-Addo is the president, and the currency is Cedi. Addis Ababa is the capital of a country called Ethiopia. You see, this is very large country here, Ethiopia. Okay, Ethiopia. Its prime minister is Abiy Ahmed Ali, and the currency is Birr. So I told you in the next class session I'm going to bring Africa back to you. Okay. Look, this is another question. Which country's president acknowledges country's responsibility in the 1994 Rwandan genocide? Genocide is killing people on the basis of race or some ethnicity. Okay, that resulted in the killing of nearly 8 lakh people in a matter of 100 days. 8 lakh people were killed, my friends. Emmanuel Macron has said sorry to the Rwandans, and recently Germany said sorry to the people of Namibia. But I'll focus in the next session on this particular story and little bit of that Mali thing, this elaborately. I have written on this also, so these names are mentioned, but by the way, Rwanda, the capital is Kigali, and the president, just right, President Paul Kagame, Rwanda. If you want to know about this crisis before you watch me telling you this thing, before you listen to me telling you all these things, there is a movie called Hotel Rwanda. But you watch it after I tell you the story, you will understand better. Okay. So these are the leaders of these countries you mentioned, Mette Frederiksen, she is the Prime Minister of Denmark. Johnson, of course, the British Prime Minister. Merkel, German Chancellor. Italian Prime Minister Draghi. Cool. But remember, and you know that whenever I say I will discuss it next session, I do discuss it. Yeah. Bashar al-Assad, who was in news recently, has recently been re-elected president of Syria. This is Syria. This is Bashar. He's an ophthalmologist by training. Okay. He belongs to the Assad dynasty. So Bashar al-Assad, Bashar the Assad. This is a predominantly Sunni country and he is a Shia. This man is a Shia. He is supported greatly by Iran and the one militant group in Lebanon called Hezbollah, which is Shia. And the people here, 74% being Sunni, they have been receiving support from Saudi Arabia to rebel against this man. And since 2011, there has been a civil war, which to a large extent has been won by Bashar with the help of Iran and Russia. Anyway, Bashar, the capital is, Syria's capital is Damascus. Currency is pound, Syrian pound. Iran, we know this, I think, but anyway, let me finish this. Iran, capital is Tehran. And the president is Hassan Rouhani. And the currency is Rial, also called Toman. This is Jordan, my friends. You see this? This is the capital, Amman. I'm writing here, Amman. The king is Abdullah II. Abdullah II, and the currency is dinar, Jordanian dinar. Oh, I spend a lot of time every day on these countries. What's happening here is all my favorite pastime. Iraq. Oh, this is very large, Shia predominant country. 68% population is Shia. Iraq's capital is what is that? Baghdad, and the prime minister is Mustafa Al-Kadhimi, and the currency is dinar, Iraqi dinar. Israel we'll discuss later, because we have been discussing, but as of today there are talks between two opposition parties as to form government, and to large extent Benjamin Netanyahu, who is the prime minister today on June 3rd, he is the prime minister. He will most likely lose his job. Okay. Yeah. Dash has been honored with the International ENI Award 2020 for research in renewable energy sources and energy storage. Chintamani Nagesa Ramachandra Rao is the full name. Chintamani, why you should write his full name is, he was Chintamani Nagesa Ramachandra Rao. You write Ramachandra Rao. He has over 60 doctorates. 60 doctorates. Yeah, honorary doctorates and everything. He has won every award in the world except for the Nobel Prize. He has won every award. Okay, and he is the winner of the 2013 Bharat Ratna. So effectively the third scientist to win Bharat Ratna. The first was, of course, the inaugural prize went to the great Chandrasekhara Venkatraman. Okay, 1954 Chandrasekhara Venkatraman. This is when Bharat Ratna was started. So C.V. Raman, and then the great Dr. Abdul Kalam, APJ Abdul Kalam. So 3 scientists. Yeah. I'm not going to discuss these choices. I read about 1 and 2 and 5, but let's skip this. B.V.R. Subramaniam has recently been appointed Dash upon the superannuation retirement. Superannuation means retirement of Anup Vadhavan on June 30th. He is the new Commerce Secretary of India. Why don't you write these choices? We have choices like what is that? Home Secretary, Finance Secretary, Cabinet Secretary, Defense Secretary. So please write Home Secretary. Ajay Bhalla. Yeah, Ajay Bhalla. Yes. I'm sure. Ajay Bhalla. Sometimes it may seem like that. It's okay. Finance Secretary, T.V. Somanathan. I think, yeah, he is a new guy. Cabinet Secretary, very important position, the highest position that a bureaucrat while serving can attain, an IAS officer while serving can attain. Rajiv Gauba. And Defense Secretary, Ajay Kumar. Who is the first Indian to win the Rudolf Schindler? Okay, Rudolf Schindler Award, the highest honor from the American Society of Gastrointestinal Endoscopy. Dr. Nageshwar Reddy. He started this company, Asian Institute of Gastroenterology, Hyderabad. It's the major, it was started here. Gastroenterology. Asian Institute of Gastroenterology. This man is considered among the world's top, the gastrointestinal experts. Then Dr. Manu Tandon also works at AIG Hyderabad, Asian Institute of Asian Institute of Gastroenterology. Okay, so they are considered God. Someone told me when I said Nageshwar Reddy, he said he's God, that kind of doctor. As part of efforts to curb frauds, which body is planning to appoint auditors for conducting forensic audits of financial statements of listed companies. Forensic means something that would go into the deeper aspects of auditing. Okay, financial statement. And there's a lot of frauds happening these days. So in order to catch people committing frauds, SEBI has come up with a new set of norms, including appointing auditors. So we know about SEBI. Why don't we write about NASCOM? National Association, please write. National Association of Software and Service Companies. National Association of Software and Service Companies. Chairperson Rekha Menon. She is Accenture India chairperson, Rekha Menon. So NASCOM, Rekha Menon. RBI, CII, Confederation of Indian Industry. Confederation of Indian Industry. Currently, the president is T.V. Narendran. T.V. Narendran. T.V. Narendran. He's going to change. He's going to demit office and someone else is going to come in. We'll discuss that later. At the right time. Right now, the chairman is the president is T.V. Narendran, who is the MD of Tata Steel. Okay. Then FICCI. You write the full form of FICCI. Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce. Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Dash President Uday Shankar. Indian economist and Nobel laureate Amartya Sen has been conferred with Spain's top Princess of Asturias award in the social sciences category. Okay, just write one major thing about this. Nobel Prize for Economics. Technically speaking, it's not Nobel Prize. Okay, actually speaking, it's not Nobel Prize for Economics because it is given by the Bank of Swiss. The Central Bank of Sweden. Got it? It's called Sveriges Bank. But anyway, people call it Nobel Prize for Economics. You give it that way. Nobel Prize for Economics, 1998. Bharat Ratna, 1999. Okay, we'll just write this a little about each of these countries. We will write only the Belgium and Spain, because the other three we know. Recently, we just in one of the previous questions we took the names. Yeah, Mario Draghi, Italy, and all. Belgium also. No, Belgium we didn't take. Belgium's capital is Brussels. It's a monarchy, constitutional monarchy, and the president is the prime minister is Alexander De Croo. Alexander De Croo. All of these countries have euro currency. Yeah, all of them. So currency is not required. Capital of Spain is Madrid, and it's also a constitutional monarchy. The prime minister is Pedro Sanchez. Pedro Sanchez. The government of India has launched the Gram Ujala scheme to provide LED bulbs, light emitting diodes. Light emitting diodes. Bulbs in rural areas. Okay, and these will be given at rupees 10 each. This is the cheapest LED bulb in the world. The government is incurring a subsidy, of course, and you know what subsidy we discussed in the last class. So the government is losing a lot of money on buying this LED bulb, but it is giving it 10 rupees each because these are energy efficient bulbs. Okay, so we can save a lot of electricity and everything. That's the idea. And while each bulb is given at 10 rupees per household, there will be 5 bulbs. 5 bulbs per household. 5, and this 10 rupees. Okay, rural area, the keywords: rural areas 10 rupees each, 5 per household. Okay, and one more thing is launched in Ara, Bihar. Launched in Ara, Bihar. I think that's sufficient here. With which country did the Indian Navy conduct passage exercise under Operation Sankalp recently? Bahrain. Okay, it's Bahrain. Bahrain's capital is Manama. It's a monarchy, despotic monarchy. The king is Hamad. Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. Hamad, the son of Isa. Bin means son of. Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. Okay. Currency is Bahrain, na? Dinar. Bahraini dinar. Bahraini dinar. चलो इसके बाद चलते हैं. We'll finish with these countries. Qatar, Doha, 2022 FIFA World Cup. Okay, FIFA World Cup, and 2030 Asian Games. 2030 Asian Games. King's name is Tamim. Okay, Tamim Al Thani. His surname is Al Thani. This guy is from the Al Thani dynasty. You want the currency? Currency is Riyal. Same as Saudi Arabia. Thailand. Thailand has a constitutional monarchy. The capital is Bangkok. You all know this. And the king's name is Maha Vajira Longkorn. This is one word. Maha Vajira Longkorn. The prime minister. This is king. This is prime minister. Pradyut. In some places you may not find the D. Pradyut Chan O Shah, and the currency is baht. Currency is baht. Baht. UAE, capital is Abu Dhabi. United Arab Emirates, capital is Abu Dhabi. President is Zayed Al Nahyan. President Zayed Al Nahyan. Currency dirham. Okay. Next, Malaysia, two capitals, Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya. Putrajaya. Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin. Muhyiddin Yassin. This is spelling Muhyiddin Yassin. The currency is ringgit. It has a rotating monarchy. Rotating monarchy. Please read about it. It's pretty interesting. The world's only country with a rotating monarchy. That's it, yeah. Enough, yeah. We discuss everything actually. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Have a lot of fun. Thanks for being here. Stay safe and please stay curious. Thank you.